Well, hello everyone and welcome. I'm Lizette Moraes. It's lovely to be here with the beautiful Varvara. Thank you so much, Varvara, for joining me today. We are going to be talking about the Essential Ecosystem Experience, a 3-month coaching container that Varvara joined in September last year. And we concluded in January. We took our time, and as our first pilot, we did. And so I wanted to invite Varvara over to share a bit what that experience has been for her. And Varvara, I'm so thrilled that you're here and want to share this with people. So welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me and to share.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, even before we kick off, one of the things that you sent me once you got your certificate and you got your flowers and you got your whole report about what the Nest Health scan has actually seen and witnessed has changed and transformed in the last 3 months. You sent me this beautiful email, and I just want to read it out here for people to hear as your testimonial because I thought it was so beautiful. You said, "It has been an honor to do the 3-month ecosystem. As a creator, of course, that means the world to me. I have transformed beyond my dreams and continue to do so. I feel empowered, free, and confident in myself, my abilities, and the choices I make. I can give to whom I want and to receive when I am in need. I can speak my truth. My heart is grateful to you and to Arise." Oh, so beloved, how did we do all this magic? And I have a couple of questions, maybe just to kick us off. But the one I'd really love to start with is what intrigued you about the invitation to join the essential ecosystem in the first place?
Yeah, so I've come to the so I come sorry I'd come to a couple of the collective meetings, and then this offer was proposed, and I just I really didn't have a good idea of what it was about, but it just felt so right. And I thought, this woman, she knows stuff. She knows, and I want to learn. I want to find out what she knows, because it just felt that I just felt like I had to I had to learn. Like, I'm a teacher, and I love learning, and Lizette just seemed like she just knew so much, and she was maybe like part of the puzzle that was missing, that I needed to, so that I could join all the pieces together. It just felt like I had to do it. There was it, there was my logical side of my brain was saying it doesn't make sense. It doesn't. Why are you doing this? And I didn't actually tell anybody that I was doing it, because mainly because I didn't want to be talked out of it. Um,
Right.
so, and I
Yeah.
didn't think that anybody would understand why I was doing it. In and there was also this little thing inside my brain saying, no, 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 you shouldn't do it. But the biggest there was a even bigger part of me saying, yes, you need to do this. You have to
Amazing.
do this. And I'd already, from a few months before, I'd already promised myself that I would follow my gut feelings and my instinct, and try to trust myself a little bit more. So I was already starting to think about those things. And then um, when this arrived, this proposal, this invitation, my gut was yes, definitely. So that's why I just had to do it.
You know, I would say that the biggest difference between how I was mentoring before 2017, 2018, and the way I'm mentoring now, and specific with this program that I've engineered over the last 2.5 years, was that I understood that my true gift of what I'm gifting every pupil that comes through these doors and does this program is a deeper relationship with your own intuitive intelligence. That is your true guiding system, right? So I love that you heard it, that you said yes to it, and now you understand. And of course, as you've gone through it, what was the most surprising thing about the whole program that now makes so much sense to you?
The most was surprising thing was really my transformation. I am so amazed at the difference it has made to me personally. So it wasn't just about learning about things and situations. It was more which I wasn't. I mean, I was expecting it to a certain degree, but not to this degree. That I have become more of who I am. So I have become my authentic self, and somebody who I thought was buried like under so much rubble and rubbish.
Beautiful.
And I just thought, I feel now I've reconnected with myself that I hadn't seen since I was like 4 or 5 or 6 or something like that. That I had, and the person who I was then, I can feel I am that person now, because since then there has been so many things piled upon me that my personality had gradually changed, and I feel like been I've been allowed to reconnect
That's
with that. So
beautiful.
that's been, I think that's, for me, that's been the biggest difference.
Incredible. And that itself is such a profound thing, right? To connect to our essence, indeed buried under the rubble, buried under the circumstances that we've needed to survive and live through, right? Just through everyday life. But to return to that innocence, to get that part of ourselves is already so massive. How do you notice that ripple effect of transformation like in everyday life? Can you give some examples of how does that really change your life then?
It Everything that I do, the way I think, the way I relate to people, the way they relate to me as well, has is feels right now, because I am not trying to be anything else. I'm not trying to please anybody. I am not I'm not trying, actually. I'm not trying. And it's so much easier being this way, it's like I've been freed from a cage or something, because it, it's, it was, it was tiring being, trying to be someone else. And in fact, actually, I didn't even know that I was being somebody else. I didn't even
Right.
know that I wasn't myself until this happened, until
Arise.
I transformed. Yes, my transformation. I didn't actually know that it felt uneasy. I felt uneasy doing and saying some things,
Yeah.
and but I didn't realize it was because I wasn't being authentic. And
Correct.
I actually thought I was being authentic. And it's quite strange, because I've been on other programs before, and they talked about authenticity, and so I had addressed authenticity, and I think, well, this is who I
Good.
am. And but it feels different. It's not it's not just thinking about authenticity, it's being authentic. I think, it's feeling it, and it
Yeah,
feels different. I
for
feel
sure.
different now,
For
and
sure.
the way I relate to people feels different, and how they relate to me. Like, I've been in the same job for 18 years, and how people relate to me now is is incredible, because I feel completely on a different level than I was before. So yeah, it's touched every part of my life, my with my parents, with my friends, with everything that I do, with my art, because I am also an artist. How I relate to that as well. So it's been, honestly, it's like down to my core.
That's so beautiful, dear one. And in just 3 months, 4 months, and you've of course joined the collective. So you have, after this 3 months, you still have that ongoing support of weekly touch bases. So we still connected. You're still in the app. What was your experience of the actual material? Because we had one-on-ones, which of course are important, but there were different aspects to the program. What are the pieces that you most treasure, that you think, yeah, that piece really helped kind of get there to and lock that in?
I think it was the meditations. Um, the meditations were really, really important, because um, that that was the day to day. That was the day to day thing, you know. And it wasn't, because I'd done meditation. I'd done lots of meditation before, and usually the meditations were like 30, 40 minutes, an hour sometimes, and sometimes I just couldn't commit to that time in morning and in evening. But your meditation, some of them are like 3 minutes, and and so I was thinking, wow, this is, how can how can Lizette do something in 3 minutes when it normally takes like half an hour or something? And I thinking, I was a bit skeptical to begin with, but but the the resonance and the frequency is is you don't need. I mean, of course, sometimes I still do. Sometimes
An
I
hour
do.
long. Yeah. And I have some of
Oh,
those too. Yeah.
but sometimes I do some of your ones. I do like maybe three of them or four of them,
Yeah.
um, because when I feel like, when I get into the, I don't know if I can say this is like the frequency or whatever, and
Sure.
I'm in the zone,
Hmm.
I want more. But sometimes I can only do 3 minutes, and that's still that's still
Enough.
fine.
It's still
Yeah,
enough. Yes. It is
yeah,
that
it's
touch
still,
base with your soul. Hmm. And that's all you
yeah,
need.
because also it's given me um, a baseline. So if I do other meditations, I know, because I've done your meditations, and because when I do your meditations, I get a certain feeling. And then when I do other meditations, if they don't give me that feeling, I I don't think that they're they're touching
The
me in the way
energetic.
that
Yeah.
that it's supposed. I don't. Maybe I'm not explaining it very well, but um, I have, your meditations have given me a like a benchmark of what how it should be, because going back to the meditations I did before, um, I found them to be quite flat, and I because I don't get that feedback, I don't get the feeling that I get. So yeah, so yeah, that's meditations was the I think the most profound, but also listening to some of the podcasts and the programs that you have. I also enjoyed doing, and actually going at the beginning, especially doing a bit every day
Yes.
was quite nice, because um, I wanted more, and I didn't feel like it was enough, just because I couldn't. I mean, I had you like and Valerie, and we did all the talks, but there's still quite and the weekly sessions, but there's still space in between, and so having those other programs
Yes.
that I could dip into when I wanted to was really helpful, and I think that helped accelerate the process.
Beautiful. One of the things that I loved about it, specifically when I engineered it and then I saw it coming to fruition as you guys were going through it, was I didn't want hours and hours and hours of theory where you were thinking, I need to remember this, you know? So by giving you that like awakening momentum, which is those 4, 5 minutes, 6 minutes of directional focus of awareness, so you can start building your momentum in real time, those lessons, those transmissions are so charged that they're creating transformation. So it was just slow enough and just the space enough for everyone to find their right rhythm and balance to really integrate and embody. It's not about collecting more information. It's about, am I using my focus? So I just absolutely loved what you've just shared because it's got all of that as well. It's got all the teachings, but it's got the one-on-ones as well as the meditations. And it's that whole thing that brings it together, isn't it? So
Yeah.
that's so wonderful. Is there any last things that you'd like to share about this program and what it kind of has come to symbolize for you? What you would say to anyone watching, anyone considering on their development path to step into this experience?
I think if there's anyone who is considering it, I think you should only do it if you're prepared for a change.
And if you're longing for change, yes, this is for
Yeah,
those that
uh,
want to transform.
yeah. You
Absolutely.
need to, because it's not hard to do, and actually, just by, I think you said something one time, just by knowing what the problem is, you're already halfway there, or something like that.
Absolutely. If you
Just
take
sort of
the
like
time.
bringing it to your awareness,
Yes,
um, and I thought that was so profound, and just listening, being. And I think the collective meetings were really helpful as well, to connect with
like-minded.
everybody
Yeah,
in that space, that you're not alone.
totally, right? We're not alone.
It's not alone, and it's not like, no, I'm on. I go. I'm part of the collective, and I we meet every week, and I think that was also, you're not going to be dropped unless you want to be. You're not dropped, and it's a continuing process. So it's not like, you
There's
do
no
it and
rush.
then that's
Exactly.
it. And also, we're all friends. I just feel like, you know,
And it's true, you know, we are all friends. Valerie's been walking with me for 4 years, Carol for 3, Paula for 2, you know. So the collective for me has also been the place where we come together as equals, as masters, as seekers, and we really mirror each other. And what I love about what you said there was you didn't feel alone. I find that loneliness is actually the cause of so much of our human dysfunction. And when we can sit together in safe space and talk about the universal things that are here to be transmuted and alchemized into unity, we all can relate indeed for how long we want. And it's so beautiful that we still keep our individual free unique expression. So, and that's indeed the whole purpose. What else would you like to share, my dear?
Um, I'd like to say if that it felt easy to do. It it wasn't. It's not something that you have to study, because I have done a few other programs, and then that involved doing exercises and digging deep and um, those kind of things. There's nothing like that here. It's reflection, it's listening, it's being, it's just, and you don't have to hide yourself. You can just be who you are, and everyone's accepting. And also, I think it's really good value for money, because like I said, I've done other programs and they were so much more expensive, and I didn't get a fraction of the transformation
Yeah.
that I've got in really a relatively short time. Because 3 months, I think the
Sure.
last one that I did was 6 months,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it was like 4 times the price.
Mm-hmm.
And although I did get some transformation, and I had to do a lot of work for it as well, I did get
Exactly.
some transformation.
Exactly.
Um, I didn't get this like deep transformation with really um, listening to things. I was just listening and actually enjoying and being part of something bigger. Yeah, and it was. It's just, yeah. That's. I think that would be my parted thing. That it was. It wasn't. It was easy to become myself.
And it should be. It should, and that's it. And that I'm delighted by that, because I've invested over 150,000 in personal development over the years. And it's incredible how the part I most disliked the program was how much effort it was, like taking on a second job or taking on a whole project just to get through the curriculum. And indeed, at the end of it, it was like, okay, I learned some interesting things, but what has really shifted in my psyche, in my psychology, in my physiology, in my life? And honestly, most of the time it wasn't that much. So I absolutely loved how a lot of the times your main question was, am I doing this right? Because it's so easy. Is it supposed to be easy? Yes, it's supposed to be easy. It's supposed to be natural. It is the feminine way. And listening to the divine is the mastery, and that divine is you. So that's been incredible. Thank you so much, Varvara, for being a part of this group. Thank you so much for being a pioneer that has given me as much as I have given you. And I think that's true for all of the students that come on. And I'm just so grateful for this all, including this interview and the fact that we continue to journey together. So thank you so much. And for everyone or anyone wanting or interested, please get in contact with me. And the link will be somewhere down below where you can schedule your 30-minute call to see if this is the right next step for you. Thank you so much, Varvara. Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.